What's going on, everybody? I think what's today? Sunday. See, when you don't work for like a regular company or have a regular boss, you start to lose track of different days of the week and everything. And I have to think about it sometimes because I'm out here moving my phone mounts around. I'm out here working 7 days a week as long as I got something to do. And so far, I've always had something to do. So today is Sunday. So, anyways, just moving some stuff, getting some stuff in my office. I didn't have anything in the office at my shop really. I had like a couch that came out of an RV that was in there just to sit down and write up stuff and type on my phone and everything, take little breaks, but the office was pretty sparse. So I went ahead and I brought all my computer equipment through that in the office and got that in there. I didn't set it up or anything because I only had a couple minutes. I have to run right back out, grab my trailer, and go look at a car I might buy and fix up a little bit. That way I always have work, you know. When you're just starting off, you know, sometimes you gotta make your own work, and that's kind of what I'm doing. Not that I'm not busy, but it's nice to have it sitting there waiting for me. Right now, let me think about what my scheduling is like right at this precise moment. So I have the 4Runner that I did the transmission in ended up blowing the motor. It overheated, and I suspect it blew a head gasket, and it hydro-locked it on coolant in the motor, which sucks. You know, I really don't like that happened, because ultimately I'm the one that sold it, and I don't want anybody to ever have something negative to say about something I dealt with, you know. I didn't have any idea that was going to happen ahead of time. I mean, it seemed to run fine, and the guy drove it halfway up to Maryland. Well, not halfway, but he drove it a portion of the way to Maryland and on 95, and the thing shut down on him. That really sucks, man. I'm really not pleased that happened that way. But we're doing everything we can to. I'm doing everything I can to mitigate this situation. We're gonna get it fixed. Waiting on parts for it right now. Got to throw head gaskets and bolts in that thing. And while I'm in there, I'm gonna try and address all the other small aspects that go along with a 3-liter Toyota motor, which are not known to be Toyota's best motor anyway. So I'm going to try and address any type of thing. We're going to throw a timing belt in it, obviously, while we have it apart. I'm just waiting for stuff to arrive right now for that, and I'll get started on that as soon as that gets here, because I want to have that done and gone as quickly as I can. The owner of the truck, you know, he understands it's going to take time to get that done, but for me personally, I don't like having that kind of thing happen. I'm going to be working on that. I also, in between all that, I have a 72 Volkswagen Beetle that's getting some work done on it at the shop. The owner of that, it's actually a kit car, so if you're not familiar, there's a lot of kit car bodies you can get for those old Volkswagen Bugs. This one has one of those bodies on it. So anyway, it looks kind of interesting. I'll show it to you in another stream if you guys are interested. But yeah, that thing body on it, and I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the way it looks. It kind of looks like a cross between a dune buggy and a hot rod, but the guy likes it. He bought it for a pretty good price, and now he wants to make it something he can rely on and drive. So that one, it's nothing too major, but the problem with it is old stuff like that. You know, first of all, Volkswagen Bugs are pretty much built like nothing else. The suspension, geometries, and components are totally different. So it is something, you know, there's guys that work on them all the time and they know a lot about them, but that's not me, and I'll be honest. But, you know, he's willing to pay for the work, so that's all that really matters. I just got to get just small stuff for the most part. I'm installing seats in it, putting a shifter in it. The shifter in it's broken. You can't find first gear or anything like that, so I'm putting a shifter in it. Trying to address an oil leak, which I didn't make any promises about because, like I said, it's an old Volkswagen, so, you know, those things are not anything. They're like nothing else. So looking for an oil leak on an engine like that, you know, I've never worked on before, you know, it's going to be tough. So I told him I would definitely look into it. I can promise him I can install seats in it. I can promise him I can change a steering wheel and a shifter, and start to get that all situated for him, but I can't promise anything about any serious mechanical stuff that requires diagnosis on a vehicle like that, but I will definitely check it out. And I have a 1990 Ford Ranger, and that truck is kind of the premise behind the video that I'm making right now. So I guess I should start from the beginning. So I have a friend back home in Maine. He started his own detailing business. He's doing super well for himself. He's got like a little van that he drives around in, and you know, it's a brand new vehicle. It makes good money doing it. And the detailing thing, like I'll be honest, man, I got no interest in washing cars. You know, that's just not my type of thing. It's not my cup of tea. But there's definitely money to be made in it. You know, there's guys getting 100, 200, 300 bucks depending on how deep they go detailing cars. So you know, I do recognize the business opportunity, and I also recognize the fact that there's a good opportunity to where I'm building a customer base and working on cars. It's a good opportunity to upsell that customer base into getting their cars detailed, especially if they can have it all done at once. You know, you come in, you bring in your car for minor repairs, and then I say, hey, you know, we're offering a special on detailing. You know, we'll do a hand wash on your car, the whole outside of the car for $25 or something, and you know, it'd just be a basic wash, $25, and if you think about it, you go to the automatic car wash, which doesn't even do that good of a job, you're spending almost $20 anyway, and then you don't have to make an extra trip. It's just all done right there, so that's an extra little chunk of cash. The problem is I would have to hire somebody to do it, and I don't really want to do that. I don't want to hire people because that's a responsibility and commitment I'm not really ready to make in my business just yet. I'm doing pretty good, but I don't want to go through like a dry spell and have somebody relying on me for their livelihood during a dry spell. And that's the thing that's scary for me. That's why I'm hesitant to hire somebody. So, you know, that led to me sitting down with my brother, talking to him about what he wants to do with his life. You know, he's at the age where he's looking at colleges and thinking about what he wants to do with his life, and I said to him, hey, you know, if you want to buy like the couple of things you would need to wash cars or whatever, I can help you out. I'll let you do it at my location, and you know, I'll figure out a way to get you started in it. And he seemed pretty interested in it, so went ahead and picked up this Ford Ranger. It's an older truck, you know, a 1990 little stick shift 4-cylinder truck. And what we're gonna do is I bought a big, what they call a rain barrel. It's a 55-gallon barrel with like a grate in the top. So like if you're like into homesteading or off-grid living, the idea is you put that thing outside, up high. Alright. So the idea behind the rain barrel is normally you would put it up high and it would capture rain in the top of it. And then there's a spigot, like a hose spigot, that's installed at the bottom of this thing. It's pre-made. And the gravity will feed that water down into your plumbing if you're like off grid. And it's really cool actually, as long as you can keep it full of water. So the reason why I got this thing is because at my shop, it's part of my lease, because the building I'm in has multiple units in it. So the city water can't be metered for every individual unit, so it's in my lease that I can't use the water to go and wash cars. It's literally written in the lease. So what I want to do is install this barrel in the back of that Ranger and use it to traverse back and forth to get water to wash cars. And I don't know if 55 gallons is enough, but these barrels are not that expensive, so if it isn't enough, I can add another one, or I could put 4 in it, whatever I need. I'm going to start with the one barrel and expand it from there if I have to. If we get more than 2 in the back of that Ranger, I'm going to have to put it on a trailer, but because it'll be a little too heavy for the suspension on that truck. It's just a base model 4-cylinder truck. But so I'm going to take that, and that'll feed into a pressure washer. And then from that pressure washer, that's where we'll use the water to wash the cars. Because the pressure washer will be a lot more efficient on that water than if you were just like, you know, dumping it right on the car normally. So that's the concept. So my brother and I are getting involved in that. I'm not going to be taking a profit from the car washing side. I wanted to help my brother. I want to, you know, set him up with a good business, and if it all goes well and it's something that he actually enjoys doing and wants to stick to, then it's good to have like somebody that's like a partner that can help share various expenses and things involved. You know, when I expand into a bigger shop, it'd be really cool to have it so that if he likes it, you know, this is all tentative, but if he likes doing it, it'd be cool if we could go into this together, get a bigger shop, and kind of share that cost of that bigger place. And I told him, you know, if he's good at it, he could also get into doing vinyl wrapping or doing like window tinting, because that's all kind of in that wheelhouse of detailing cars. Also, my insurance will cover washing cars, so not that you would think that anything would happen that would require you making a claim on your insurance when you're washing a car, but you know, it's certainly in the realm of possibility, so that'll help him out a lot too, where we could just kind of use the same policy to cover all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I don't know if you guys have any insight on the car detailing business or anything like that. Right now, what we have is we have the truck, we've got the barrel for the water, we've got a pressure washer, and we've got a shop vac to vacuum the cars. I'm coming to a dead spot up here, so if I lose you guys in the stream, I'm sorry. I know that the service gets spotty right in this area. But, so we've got all that stuff. He bought a buffer, so he's going to try and practice using a buffer, get good at that. And we're looking into getting a steam cleaner, because that was a suggestion of my friend who has his car detailing business. He uses a fabric steamer a lot on the interiors of these cars. So we're really making it as serious as we can. With, you know, I mean, we're starting from nothing here. We're starting with no clients, no jobs just yet. We're just gonna put all the equipment in place, and we might be. I worry a little bit that we're throwing at the situation instead of just trying to like bootstrap it a little bit more, because I kind of feel like we could bootstrap it more and, you know, offer to wash cars for people at their house and start getting that way, but I would rather start off with a bang than a fizzle, I suppose. you know, my brother works a summer job, at a theme park, and that job's going to be wrapping up in the near future for the year. So he will need something to do to make money, and so I kind of want to try and set him up the best chance possible here. And he's definitely doing his part. He's definitely investing his money and his time too, as much as he can. So, where I see he's making the effort, I'm willing to make the effort. So we'll see how all that goes. As far as it making me money, it doesn't look like it's going to do much for me right now, but it's more of like a big picture idea. I'm more worried about helping out my brother than anything else. In the long run, it'll work out good for me too. It's good for both of us, I think, if we can make it work. So that's my goal and my hope. What else is going on? Oh, so if you guys watch the car dealership ecosystem videos that I did, if you haven't seen them, you can go back and find them in my videos. But if you guys watch those, I talked a little bit about warranties, specifically states requiring warranties when you sell a car. And Randy Barber kind of took, he disagreed with any state with the fact that any state would require a dealer to warranty a vehicle. And then, I'll just be honest. Let me just start off by saying I got no ill will towards Randy as a person. I'm not saying anything bad about Randy. I think that he does believe everything he said. I think that what he said is based in fact, but I think it's a misinterpretation of what the facts are and of what I said about the situation. So I just want to kind of clarify it, because I saw that he made a response video and everything about the warranty situation. So to start off with, I did mention it in one of the other videos based on his comment, not about his video, but based on his comment I did mention it. So with the state required warranties, no, they're not as strict and they don't cover as much as if you went out and you had a factory warranty or an extended warranty plan which you paid for. They're not. These are very basic guidelines that the state has laid out for used car dealers that are selling to the public. And essentially, at least the one state that I'm aware of in Maine, what they're requiring is that dealers, if they sell a car, that's supposed to be a daily driven car, inspected and everything, is that they stand behind the items related to that state safety inspection for some period of time. And so if you buy a car, at least in the state of Maine, and you blow up the motor, technically the dealer doesn't have to do anything for you. And most likely that's not going to happen. You could blow up a motor in a car, just like what happened to this guy that bought the 4Runner. But in general, that's really rare. I've only seen it happen even outside of dealership buying. In my life, I have only known of 2 times, including the time with the 4Runner, where somebody purchased a car and blew up the motor on their way home, or within a very short period of time without any warning. And both of those times were with Toyota 3-liter engines. The first time was me. I had bought a Toyota T100 with a 3-liter engine in it, and I let my friend drive it home for me. And he drove it kind of hard because it wasn't his, and I'll be honest, the guy wasn't very respectful of it. And got it almost all the way home, and it popped a head gasket in it, and the thing smoked so bad that it literally looked like a fire. like was under the hood. I saw it and I jumped out and I started like trying to get water onto the engine because of how much smoke it was producing. So that it didn't blow up the motor, it blew a head gasket, so most of the motor was okay except for the head gasket. But the fact that that happened, you know, that's kind of crazy. And then of course what happened with the 4Runner like I talked about. So, you know, the engine thing, that's not a huge thing, but they do require that the transmission be good. They do require that the brakes and the suspension, all that, be good for state inspection. And that's what they want dealers to stand behind, is that the car will be safe to drive for a certain period of time. And it's not a buyer protection issue for the state. It's a public safety issue. So they figure if dealers are selling shoddy cars that are falling apart the week after somebody purchases it, then and it still has like a good inspection because they slid it by, they don't want to see that. They want to try and keep that from happening. It ends up turning into a consumer protection thing because it you know, in effect does protect consumers, but that's not the main goal of that. So if I guess the way I should say to you guys is if you're selling a car as a dealer and the state says that you need to stand behind the transmission, the brakes, the safety equipment for some period of time, I want to know, would you guys consider that a form of a warranty? Because I certainly would. Like that is a type of a warranty. It's along the same spirit of a warranty. So, but Randy wants to say that it's not a warranty, even though I shared with Randy the actual state guideline paperwork where it cites all of what the dealers have to do, and in it even uses the term warranty. It actually expresses the term warranty multiple times in that guideline. But Randy wants to say that that's not a warranty. I don't know what you call it. If it's not a warranty, it's a guarantee. That's kind of still a warranty. Standing behind something, that's kind of a warranty. The guidelines don't really lay out how long they need to stand behind this stuff. But in my experience, these guys are usually all kind of following a 3-month rule. They figure, you know, you make it through one season, and they also figure, you know, if you make it through the winter, which would be about 3 months. Well, in Maine, it's really more than 3 months, but the worst of it is about 3 months. If you make it through the winter and it doesn't kill you, or it isn't about to kill you, then their duty is done. Their agreement with you has been fulfilled. But I don't know. I think Randy is trying to do some mental gymnastics to stand behind what he said. In any case, if you're a buy here, pay here dealer in a state like that, you need to understand that you can't sell a car to somebody with a bad transmission. You can, but you'll have to fix it at some point. You can't sell a car to somebody with defective safety equipment. You can't sell a car to somebody that needs brakes. You can't sell a car to somebody on buy here, pay here that needs all those things. If you do, then at some point they can come to you and say you need to fix this. Now, there is a loophole for dealers where they can say, they can put on the window a window sticker, like, you know, the purchase order paper or whatever, the buyer's order paper that they put in the windows. They can put one there that expressly says unsafe motor vehicle and sell it with no inspection and no guarantees, making it an as-is sale. But if it's an as-is sale, selling it as, you know, or like as an unsafe motor vehicle, trying to sell that thing to somebody and letting them drive it off the lot with buy here, pay here financing and everything like that is pretty questionable business practice. Could you do it? I guess. I mean, you can take money from people in any sort of timeline, I guess you want. You know, you can tell them I'll invoice you this much every month for this long. I mean, I don't see where the problem legally is in that. but the problem is it's going to be very hard to sell a car that says in big bold letters "unsafe motor vehicle" in the window. But yeah, you can get away with doing that, I suppose. I don't know what the laws are regarding financing it. I don't think most guys do finance them when they say that, but you know, I'm sure you probably get away with it if you were looking to. But for Randy to say that there are no states that require a warranty of any kind is just an outright that's just a lie. Like there are states. I think if I remember correctly, I think California requires dealers to cover like emissions equipment. And somebody that sells cars in California can correct me on this because I have no idea. I haven't looked into it. This is just hearsay. But from what I understand, California does require dealers to cover certain emissions equipment for people that purchase cars from them. The state of Virginia, I think there are certain situations where dealers have to stand behind certain items. I know that dealers do have to sell vehicles in the state of Virginia with state inspections on them. The only way they can get out of selling them with the state inspection is if they consider it like a wholesale deal, but at that point they can't finance it, so you know, they would at least have to fix it to the point of passing a state inspection. So I guess it's not a warranty, but you're still going to have to do some work to it. So there's different laws in different situations everywhere. I don't think that Randy can say that he knows unequivocally the law in every single state down to the letter. You know, he works with people all over the place, but he's like he's not, he has a dealership in one state, he's successful in one state, he's got other people that pay him to use his program in different states, but if they're in his program, they're not dealers. That's like the point of the program. They're becoming wholesalers, and the law does not apply that way to wholesale dealerships. It couldn't. It's not possible. So there's not really a wholesale dealership. A wholesaler is somebody that's selling to other dealers. And it's kind of funny to me that Randy uses semantics to make it okay to say that you don't have to have a warranty in any state. But those same semantics, if you try to apply them to Randy doing his wholesaling, he gets very upset about. Because in reality, if you take a car and you buy it and you sell it to a person in the public that's not a dealer, doesn't have a dealer's license, as far as I'm concerned, you're not wholesaling it. You're just selling it. And you're free to do that. I mean, I think that everybody should be allowed to sell a car in any amount of cars that they want. They just probably would have to pay the taxes on it. But I mean, I'm not willing to call that a wholesale deal. I mean, I know there's a pretty big difference there. Sorry, I'm a little distracted backing up to my trailer so I can go and pick up this car, possibly. You know, so it's funny to me that Randy uses loopholes in semantics to try and tell people they don't have to warranty their cars as a dealer, but those same loopholes in semantics don't apply to Randy. Not that Randy's a bad guy or anything. I mean, he seems to have something that's working good for him, and I'm happy to see it work for him, but that doesn't mean that I'm buying that. I'm not taking that spoonful of bullshit whole either. Guess I'm gonna have to pull up just a little. Now, what do you think the chances are of me being able to live stream, hold my phone in my hand, and hook up a trailer all at once? Think I got any skills here? So I think I caught the tongue of my trailer on the sway control of my hitch. Let's see. Nope, I didn't. It's heavy bitch, man. It's got no jack on my trailer because it doesn't need it. The trailer will stand itself up on the tongue without a jack, so I don't have one on there. But times like this make me wish I did. See if the thing rolls away and takes the block out. Alright, let's see if I can get that hitched up here. inch my truck back. Hopefully it'll pop onto the ball. Boom. Did I get it? Almost, but that should be enough for me to, come on, there it is. See, this is a problem with the trailer. It has a center of gravity right in the middle. I gotta stand up on top of this thing. You guys are probably all laughing at me. Boom, see that? By myself. How many of you guys gotta have help to do that? I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm sure there's plenty of guys that could back that thing up and hook it up a lot faster than me. And here's a little tip. If you guys ever haul a trailer, you gotta check the lights. And you go through that crap about trying to get somebody to sit in the truck and press the brakes and hit the turn signals. All you have to do to check your tail lights is hit the four ways on the truck, because on a trailer, the brake lights, tail lights, well, the brake lights and the turn signal are wired together. So if you hit your four ways and they both flash, then you're pretty much, unless there's some type of major wiring issue in the truck itself, you know, in the connection on the truck itself, you know that your brake lights and turn signals are all going to work, because they're all the same wire. So if it's got a good enough connection for that, it's got a good enough connection for the brake lights to work. And if you turn your lights on, those things will just, you know, your tail lights themselves, your running lights will be on either way. So I'm gonna pull up. I gotta hook my strap over my ramps. I should have done that before I even moved the trailer. I forgot, because I usually leave the strap over my ramps, but I took the strap off because I wanted to use the strap for something else while I wasn't using the trailer. I forgot that I took it off. If I don't put the strap over my ramps, I worry that going down the road, my ramps will bounce off the trailer, because I don't have like a way to slide them in. Like this is a piece of shit trailer, so nicer trailers, they got like a way to slide your ramps in and lock them in nice and neat. But mine, first of all, if you look at my ramps, they're 9 feet long, so they're a lot longer than most trailers, because this trailer sits high, so I have long ramps to make it so I can pull stuff up onto it without too much issue, without dragging on the ground. And yeah, so it's hard to make it work. Plus this trailer's kind of short for hauling cars. So it used to have, the ramps used to be hooked on this pipe, and you could flip them up. The ramps were a lot shorter too, and they were on that pipe. So anyway, I don't have my ramps on that pipe, because if I put them on that pipe, it will, they'll lean in. I'm worried they'll take up too much space, because sometimes if I'm hauling like a pickup on this, the back of the truck hangs over the back of the trailer. And if I had ramps that had to be flipped up on the back, I'm worried that they will get in the way. There'll be not enough room to pull stuff up on here. So I just don't have them hooked up that way anymore. You know, I was thinking about a couple different ways I can change around the setup on this deal, like maybe make like a way to slide my ramps in on the bottom of the trailer, or maybe have like a way to like set or hook them up over the fender, you know, like build a bracket. And I think about it, and then sometimes I get kind of serious about it, especially when I'm busy using the trailer, like when I use the trailer a lot all in 1 week. But then I'm just like, after a while, I start thinking about it. I'm like, I just want to get a different trailer anyway. And if I get a new trailer, something like a if I get like a newer trailer, something like a Big Tex or something, it's gonna have the ramps set up properly. So I'm gonna set this down. So something like a Big Tex or something, anything new, I'm not even gonna have to worry about that. So I'm gonna do all that work to do that. It just doesn't make sense. So all right. So anyway, if you watch this far in, thank you very much. And if you like these videos, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.